Tonight's recipe is actually really quite quick to cook. It's going to be a sausage and fennel pasta. The ingredients that we're going to use are fennel. Just to say with fennel, the outer bits that you cut off and the bottom and the top bits, save those and put those in your stock. If you're not making stock, put them in the bin. You're going to keep the fronds that will decorate at the end, and using a mandolin, thinly slice the fennel. Sausages, okay, I'm making enough for two tonight, so I've actually used 3 Italian sausages from Marks and Spencer's. I've taken the skin off and then I'm going to break it into little pieces. Other ingredients are double cream, whole grain mustard, wine, you're going to have a splash of it, and the pasta that I'm using tonight is lovely big pappardelle. And this ingredient, oh, a little pinch of chili I need to add. This ingredient I know you'll laugh about because it's kind of like saying, well, and finish it with some otter's noses. But I happen to have some fennel pollen, which smells amazing. It is a wonderful ingredient, and if you like fennel, I am actually just going to sprinkle a little bit of the fennel pollen on at the end just to enhance the fennel flavour. You could put on tarragon, you could make a pangratata. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and start cooking. And one more ingredient that I may or may not use is I might just use a splash of chicken stock. You could use water, we're obviously going to have the wine, which will be to help braise the fennel. Also, as I'm only cooking for 2, I haven't actually sliced all of the fennel. You can see I've sliced it on a mandolin. It's lovely and thin. I've got a pan of water on with plenty of salt to cook the pasta. Now we'll start the sauce. I'm going to add a glug of olive oil to my pan. I'm going to get my sausages. And I'm just going to break them into pieces into the pan and cook them, cook the bits until they get a nice bit of colour on them. I will be able to tell you once I've done it how long it was, because as you know, all of these dishes on you. Hopefully you can see I've got a nice bit of colour on these sausages. As I said, these are from Marks and Spencer's, and they are like normal sausages, but they've got Italian spices in them. I haven't found anything similar anywhere else, so if you know of somewhere where I can get Italian sausages other than Marks and Spencer's, although I don't have a problem with it, let me know, share it to everyone. So there's some nice colour on here. I'm now going to, and that's been about 5 minutes, I'm going to deglaze the pan with just a little bit of white wine, and I'm going to let that reduce down. Use your spatula to scrape the bottom of the pan to get all the goodness off. These are all things that I've talked about a lot before. I'm going to actually raise the heat a bit to let that bubble down, and I'm going to reduce that until it's almost like a syrup. I'm going to lower the heat again, and now I'm putting in the sliced fennel. I might just, separate it all out. If there's any big bits, break them in half. Putting in all the fennel. And I think what I'm going to do is I am going to add just a splash of chicken stock. I'd say this is optional. I'm just doing it for some added flavour and to help the fennel just braise. So you want to cook that now on a really low light until your fennel is lovely and soft. While the fennel is cooking, I've mixed, it's about 100 ml of double cream and just over a tablespoon of whole grain mustard. Do it to your taste, how you like it. I like it quite mustardy. So I've pre-mixed that ready because that will go in the sauce at the end. This is still cooking, but if you like chili, this is the point where you can add a few little flakes of dried red chili. Chili and fennel actually work really well together, and with these sausages. The sauce is bubbling away. I always cook too much pasta. I never know how much to weigh out, and I have a fear of being hungry and not having enough, but I always have leftovers. So my water is bubbling. I'm going to pop in the pappardelle. You could also use tagliatelle, or you could do linguine. I just like it with a flat pasta. And then you'll cook that to the pack instructions. Once it's cooked, drain it, and then we'll be adding it to the sauce. Now my sauce actually, the stock and the wine has reduced nicely. The fennel is softening well. So I'm now going to add the cream that's mixed with mustard, which will complement everything perfectly. Nice low light. You can see I've moved it from the center light to my small light, and I'm going to mix that through and just let that bubble to get warm and leave it cooking while the pasta cooks. You'll notice I haven't seasoned anything yet because there's seasoning in the sausages. You've got the mustard. I am going to taste it now. And to be honest, it still doesn't need me to add any more salt. I might add a little grinding of pepper. I'm also going to save a cup of the cooking water to add to the sauce right at the end. I was going to continue cooking this until the pasta had cooked, but actually it's only taken a couple of minutes. Cream gets really thick once you start cooking it, so I'm just going to leave that sitting until the pasta is cooked. Before I drain the pasta, I'm just going to take a whole cup of pasta water. Now I'm going to drain it. I've got the sauce on a low light, the pasta is drained. I'm going to add just a little bit of that cooking water to loosen up the sauce. Lovely. I'm going to tip the pasta in. And give it a good stir, and then we'll serve it. Oh God, that smells good. Here it is, fennel and sausage pappardelle. I hate this bit. I'm going to make sure there's plenty of sausage on there and plenty of fennel. I'll just do a small one, a bit more sausage, and then finish with some fennel fronds. It's not the most beautiful of looking dish, but once you sprinkle on those little bits of fennel, and I'm actually also going to put on some more pepper, it's absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Oh, I forgot my fennel pollen, the tiniest sprinkling. It's strong. Obviously, this is an optional ingredient.